Hello. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the Italian language as well as how to be teaching it in comparison to the English language for the sake of beginners. Now, in terms of origins, the Italian language is spoken in southern Europe, and it is primarily derived from the Latin language of the Holy Roman Empire. Now, the Romans had spoken the Latin language, and they had stayed in the modern day of Italy, as well as migrated around the areas of what are now Spain, Romania, and and France as well. So uh, the Italian language is official in both Italy as well as Switzerland, and it has a good 80 or so million speakers. I'm sorry, as either an L1 or a L2 language. Now, the language has has at least four main national um, uh, tongues or languages, and they are known as one Spanish, along with Portuguese, Romanian, and and French as well. Now, the language in terms of the modern day alphabet, it is composed of 21 letters, and it has, I'm sorry, 16 consonants and five vowels. Uh, when it comes down to greeting people, either in the either in the classroom or perhaps a a formal area, like say you were to be like greeting a friend informally, or another like an elderly person more formally, you would say ciao to them. Ciao means a hello in the language, and another way to say hello, you would say buongiorno. That's the more formal way to say it. That's how most of the other people greet each other in a more formal manner. Now, the language has many parts of a speech. It's got nouns, adjectives, articles, I'm sorry, pronouns, verbs, prepositions, and conjunctions. And I'm going to briefly describe some of the parts of a speech that I've learned in the language, and that was in the year 2013 when I took them in terms of the elementary level of the language. Now, in terms of in terms of no, I'm sorry, the languages, grammar. It has the masculine and the feminine, gender for it, and these apply to the languages nouns. They also have the a singular and a plural number, which are which are the bread and butter for the languages. I'm sorry, for the languages inflections. So, let's say for instance, The word for book in Italian, it would be it would be a libro. It's spelled Libro, and and so the word a libro is a masculine a noun because it ends in the vowel o, and in order to make the noun plural, you would have to change o to I. Again, this is for the masculine gender typically. Now, in Italian, we also have the word a finestra. A finestra, again, spelled Finestra, is the word for a window. And that is a feminine word. It is, and it is made, I'm sorry, it is made plural by changing the final vowel or the suffix stem a to e. So so if I were to say la finestra, it means the window, and if I were to say le finestre, it would mean the windows. As you could hear and see, the articles la and le are almost always used in the feminine gender, and they indicate a more definite form, and they have to follow the noun as closely as possible in terms of gender appearance and plural formation. Now, the third stem is the I'm sorry, is the suffix e. For instance, the word for color, again, this is an obvious one. It would be colore. So uh, the plural of the stem e in the suffix, it's typically a 50-50 gender formation. What you would have to do is you would basically have to study the language, perhaps buy a foreign dictionary in Italian, and it would indicate for you that here the gender of the word colore happens to be a masculine. So again, you would have to change the vowel e to I, okay? But there is another word, for example, the word classe, as in the class that I'm currently taking with Professor Medeiros, if I'm pronouncing it um, uh, correctly. And in this in this case, the word classe, spelled CLASSE, the word for you know, the word for um, uh, class in Italian happens to be a feminine. This time around, again, I just chose another arbitrary example, and again, the plural formation for the vowel e ending, again, you just change the vowel e to I as well. So if I were to say una classe, it would mean a class, and if I were to say a delle classe, it would mean some classes. Now, lastly, there are the verb stems. Again, one common verb would be parlare. Parlare means to speak in Italian. So a suffix, are, okay, it has a good six forms in terms of the present conjugative uh, tense of the verb. Okay, so if I were to say io parlo, it means I speak, and then the other ones would be tu parli, it means you speak. A Louis or a lei parla, a he or she speaks. A noi parliamo, which means we speak. A voi parlate, which means a you speak, as a plural. And finally a loro a parlano, or a they speak. Now, in addition to the are stem, there is also there are also the ere and the ire stems. They are dash ere and dash ire, and they follow a rather similar patterns to the are conjugation. Again, this is for the present tense. You just have to memorize basic a six person conjugation tense, and you should have it in no time. It's not all that difficult of the language. And yeah, again, going on to the alphabet. Again, it's a 21 consonant and a 5 vowel alphabet. Now, if you were to see the clustered group of consonants, say a ch, for example, is pronounced as a letter k, a not ch, whereas whereas the a ci is pronounced as ch, and not a c. And finally, a G plus I'm sorry, the letter G plus a vowel is pronounced j, and not g. And the pairs of consonants, consonants, a GH is pronounced g. And lastly, covering the languages, the Italian languages, dialects or varieties. There are 20 regions in the Italian nation, and so there are many dialects. Like, say, for instance, there are about 16 or so varieties of the Italian language. Some of them seem to resemble the language more closely, and some of them do not. Again, these are based on how you study the foreign words and inflections of the dialect in comparison to the standard language. Now, these are known as Tuscan, Umbrian, Corsican, Marcojan, Piedmontese, Lombard, Venetian, Ligurian, Emilian, Sicilian, Calabrian, Apulian. Then there's also a Lucanian, Campanian, Molesian, and finally Abruzzese. Again, this covers some of my beginning teaching methods as a L2 for Italian, opposite of English, and in this case, for this presentation of a minds, I used the audio a lingual I'm sorry, teaching a format combined with the a CTL format. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching and listening. If the professor has any questions, he could contact me through Canvas. Ciao.